Welcome to Galaxy TV. Here we uncover the secrets of our heritage, one story at a time. This is not just entertainment, this is the heartbeat of our people. Join us as we journey into the soul of Africa through tales, stories that ignite the imagination and speak to the heart. Subscribe, drop your opinions in the comments section, like the videos, don't forget to turn on your notification bells, and let the stories begin. Once upon a time, in a small town nestled in the shadow of rolling green hills, a young girl named Clara lived with her father, Mr. Bennett. Clara had always been close to her father, especially after her mother passed away when Clara was just 5 years old. Though she was too young to remember much about her mother, she clung to the little pieces she had left: an old locket, a few black and white photographs, and the bedtime stories her father often told about her. For many years, it was just Clara and Mr. Bennett. They shared a simple but happy life. Clara loved their cozy little home with its creaky wooden floors and flower-filled garden that her mother had planted before she passed. The memories of her mother lingered in every corner of the house, making Clara feel as though she was still there, watching over them. But everything changed one warm spring evening. At dinner, Mr. Bennett cleared his throat nervously. "Clara, there's something I need to talk to you about," he said, fiddling with his fork. Clara looked up, curious. Her father rarely seemed anxious, and it worried her. "I've met someone," he said slowly. "Her name is Margaret, and she's very special to me." Clara froze. Her father continued speaking, but the words blurred in her ears. "We've been seeing each other for a while. I think it's time you met her. I want to remarry." Remarry? Clara's stomach sank. It felt like her father was betraying her mother's memory. She wanted to shout, to tell him that their family didn't need anyone else, but instead, she simply nodded and excused herself from the table, retreating to her room. That night, Clara stared at her mother's picture on her nightstand. "How could he do this?" she whispered. "Doesn't he miss you?" A few weeks later, Margaret came to visit. She was tall and graceful, with kind green eyes and golden hair tied neatly in a bun. She brought a box of cookies and smiled warmly at Clara, who barely looked at her. "Hello, Clara," Margaret said, kneeling slightly to meet Clara's gaze. "Your father has told me so much about you. I've been looking forward to meeting you." Clara didn't respond. She glanced at her father, who gave her an encouraging smile, but she couldn't muster one in return. Over the next few months, Margaret began spending more time at their house. She tried hard to connect with Clara. She baked her favorite cakes, asked about her school projects, and even bought her a sketchbook when she learned Clara liked to draw. But Clara wasn't ready to accept her. She saw Margaret as an intruder, someone trying to take her mother's place. One summer afternoon, while Margaret and Clara were sitting in the living room, Margaret tried to